up guys, Matt here, and welcome to this Monday edition of my daily news show where I talk about the day's stories that I wanted to share with you all. If you like it, make sure you let me know by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribe so I can see you tomorrow. So for this first story, we'll head over to Iraq, where ISIS group militants continue to attack and try to take over cities. The state of affairs over there is actually pulling Iran into Iraq and also possibly the US. The latest evidence of Iraq's backward steps have come from a jihad website. Apparently this terrorist group ISIS has posted pictures of it massacring Iraqi security forces. The pictures show terrorist groups jamming dozens of men into trucks, tying them up and laying them face down in the dirt, presumably before they kill them, although no news source seems to be officially validating these pictures. And like I said, this is just the latest evidence of Iraq devolving. Things haven't just gone downhill. They barreled downhill, flew off the edge of a cliff, and now they're in a free fall. And look, you can blame Bush, praise Obama, be angry that we were there in the first place, but that doesn't change anything. We were there. Right or wrong, truth or lies, we were there. We pulled what little stability they had right out from underneath them. So frankly, you can't be surprised that things went backwards so quickly. What I'm saying is, yes, war sucks. Yes, that whole situation sucked. But this administration has made another mistake. And I admit, overall, the thought of having the first black president was pretty cool. Especially Obama. I mean, he was a smooth-talking, charismatic, good-looking guy. But it's really looked and felt like he's been over his head pretty much since day one. So, I don't know, let's just hope that something good comes of it if and when the US has to go back into Iraq. And that will actually bring us into today's question of the day. I wanted to limit this topic as little as possible. So my question is, how do you feel about the situation in Iraq? If you were president, what would you do or what would you have done? I'd like to know basically any feelings that you may have on Iraq. These could be thoughts on anything from way back in the early 2000s all the way up to today. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. So moving on to this next story, iconic radio legend Kasem passed away over the weekend at age 82. He did a lot of things in his career. He was an actor, a radio broadcaster, he did voiceover work for cartoons, all kinds of stuff, but he's probably most widely known for being the voice of Shaggy in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon Scooby-Doo, and also for being the radio host, of course, of American Top 40. I remember hearing him on the radio when I was a kid, and he just had such a friendly voice. That's not the right word. It's hard to explain though. But if you've heard him, you know what I mean. It was just a good voice for radio. If you haven't heard him, you should definitely check it out. I will link something down below for you. And I really think it's a shame that his last days were marked by such a shitload of drama. The main thing being his wife literally hiding Kasem from the rest of his family, even while he was in deteriorating health. So, you know, yet another icon dead, and I'm sure he'll be missed by everyone. So moving on to this next story from sports, the San Antonio Spurs have won yet another NBA Finals ring. They really wound up dominating this best-of-7 series, winning 4 out of 5 games. For his great performance throughout the series, Kawhi Leonard became one of the youngest NBA Finals MVPs in a long, long time. I think this is the kind of consistency that NBA fans have just come to expect from them. In all honesty, compared to the Miami Heat, they're kind of boring to watch. They don't have that sexy, star-studded roster like the Heat do. But they have a bunch of good players, and they've really become like the pinnacle of teamwork. Not to mention, on top of all those veteran leaders, they have a coach who's a winner, plain and simple. Now, I do like the Heat, but I'm happy to see the Spurs win. I think they definitely deserve this one. So congrats to the Spurs and the city of San Antonio. Moving on to this next story, Jennifer Devereaux was on a JetBlue flight from New York to Boston. Her 3-year-old daughter had to use the bathroom, and when they got up to go, a flight attendant stopped them and told them to sit down. The toddler wound up peeing her pants in the seat, and when the mother got up to clean up the daughter, again the flight attendant said, "No, sit down." Devereaux basically said, "Look, my daughter peed her pants because you wouldn't let us go. I'm going to clean her up and I will sit down afterwards." The attendant then reported her to the pilot as a non-compliant passenger. Luckily, an off-duty pilot sitting near Devereaux was able to convince the pilot to allow her to stay on the flight. Devereaux wrote to the company complaining not about bad customer service, but about bad human decency. And I kind of agree with her on this one. But at the same time, these are the measures that have to be put in place when you have terrorists running amok all over the world. Really, this comes down to the flight attendant doing her job and the mother doing hers. It's a tough situation, but the airliner, I think, has to bite the bullet on this one. There's no other way. They did offer Devereaux a $50 credit though, so I guess that's a plus. So for this last story, I'm just going to show you the picture. It'll be full screen, not up in the corner. I won't even say anything until after you see the picture. hell is this? This was on the wall of a shopping center in South Korea. Why would you make a statue of this? Like, Spider-Man's the shit, don't get me wrong. But why does he have an erection? Instead of being a cool Spider-Man statue like it should have been, this turned into a weird, creepy, sexual Spider-Man back bridge with a mega heart on. It was on the wall for almost a year before it was taken down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I was cracking up when I first saw this earlier today. Of course, I'd love to know your thoughts on the question of the day or anything else I talked about in the form of a comment down below. And with that, I will take my leave. Before you go, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure to stick around a little bit longer for the UrbanDictionary.com word of the day. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you tomorrow. So today's UrbanDictionary.com word of the day is vampire ass. Vampire ass. An ass so juicy you just can't help but sink your teeth into it. Man, that girl's so fine, she's got a vampire ass. And I picked this because I think it's kind of funny if you think about it, how both men and women look at each other's butts to help decide if they're, hot or not. If you think about it, it's weird because your butt is meant for pooping, but it somehow turned into this sexual thing. But I think the word of the day today kind of takes that to a new level. Which reminds me of a quick funny story. When I was in high school, one of my teammates on the football and the basketball team actually told this girl who had a really nice butt that her ass was so nice, he wanted to take a bite of her shit. Oh man, so fucking creepy. I don't know why I remember that. But alright, again, thank you much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.